Hey, Papa Ron, what's happening, brother?
None of your business. Let's just get into it. This dang topic just already got me up,
It
already
sure
got me
has,
worked up
man.
to a lather.
Yeah, every time we talk about this stuff and Bitcoin, it gets and it is hi folks. I guess I ought to recognize you guys. Well, Ron and I have been talking about the IRS and Bitcoin, how they're going to be doing their taxes and stuff this year on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and stuff. We're really we're not feeling any pinch, but what I'm saying is that it is so unfair. The whole schmear, is unfair. That dang thing is awful. Anyway, we got
Well,
some news we got to get into before we get
the
into this.
tax time is over, folks. But we just want to kind of brief you on what's gone up to this point. You got one day left, really, and that's manana,
Yeah,
I think. But
yeah.
Rod wore his special hat, trying to coax me into being nice today. Um,
Nice.
I mean, do you have a washing machine? Throw that dang thing in there and clean it up.
Oh no, no, no. See, this is a special hat. I took a 2 week cruise down in Europe. Went up to anyway all over. This is from. It says nice in English, but really in French it's pronounced Nice. And when we went to Nice, France, I bought this the very first stop, and all that's all sweat and stuff. Me walking around, I kept it on there. Yeah, you bet, baby. You gotta have memories. And I look at this hat and I say, boy, I walked my ass off. That's all when I was going up there. And there was
Wait,
a
well, hold up. You're
yeah,
on a cruise, which
yeah,
is 24/7 eating and laying
oh
by the
yeah,
pool,
yeah.
but yet you walked your butt off. Where? What did you do?
Well, we did well. Every port that we stopped in, I took an excursion. They call it an excursion. You go out and do the sightseeing and stuff. And there's a guide that walks you, and they walk so well. They don't walk fast, but when you got a crowd of like 50, 60 people, it's like a train when they stop. If the train stops, it goes at 4 feet. When it takes off, you lose 4 feet. And they took off. All I know is my little girlfriend I was with, and she would take off, and she's real short. She's only like 4'11". And boy, man, her fast walk is me running. I'm going, oh, I'm trying to catch up.
Well,
It was-
Rod and I, we took a cruise once together too. Now, this is before the one you went to Italy and all, but
yeah.
oh, we had a great time. And folks, we ain't got time to tell
Oh,
these stories, but we could tell you a bunch. I'm telling you.
yeah.
Well, listen, like I said, that we're tax time is about over, and there was an article that we saw that says just about everyone with Bitcoin is lying to the IRS. Now we did a
I wonder
report.
why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, couple of the article states that some of the reasons are that people that are into cryptocurrency have a high tolerance for risk. And that kind of said, well, yeah, that's kind of maybe right. We're kind of rolling the dice on this newfounded financial exchanging value type thing. But since we're risk takers, we're kind of risk takers in come and get us. Come and find that Bitcoin I have. Of course, the IRS does have tools out there now that they're claiming they can track these addresses down and kind of see that stuff. And we're not here today to promote you not paying taxes. We actually want to do the opposite. We want to suggest that it's time to prepare for next year.
Yeah.
You don't want to wait till November and December and try to get all this information together. So we're going to show you a couple tools that might work. But this article, there was a company that did a survey, and that company is called, it was on the tip of my tongue a minute ago. Um, yeah, there's no way I'm going to find it in this article.
Hey, excuse me. I find it interesting that according to the recent report, fewer than 100 people have reported Bitcoin holdings so far this year.
Yeah. Well, we know back in 2015, the IRS got a court order for Coinbase to turn over their records, and they fought them for a bit, but they finally did give them the information they wanted. And back then, only 804 reported cryptocurrency on their taxes in 2015. Of course, look at the how it's grown since then. And like Rod just said, according to these figures, I think these are just stats based on this, not interview, but on what they're kind of saying from this company. And it was less than 100, Rod. You just saw that on there? Why
Yeah,
can't I?
the very first paragraph says less than 100 people. NBC said that comes from Credit Karma, a popular
That's
financial app.
Sorry, that's exactly it. Credit Karma is where they did this statistics from. Thanks, Rod.
Yeah,
Sorry about
no
that.
problem.
And
No problem.
there's the number I was looking for. So they're saying, and on the statistics, and Credit Karma is like a big credit scoring place, and they help people do their taxes. But according to the survey taken there, only 1 in 250,000 people, of the more than 250,000 people who have filed through Credit Karma this year, a whopping 0.0004% have claimed to have money in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. Wow. And even if the figures go...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying, the way they got this structured, I can see why people aren't going to talk about it or claim it, because it's so screwed up, Ron.
Well, it is confusing, and that's just it. There hasn't really been any defined definition, and there is now. They say, hey, it's treated as property, not currency, even though all along Bitcoin is saying we are a currency, and a lot of the cryptos do, but they have since deemed it as property. And why? Probably because they can take more money from those that have it. Because then at that point, they don't care if you lose $1 or make $1. Every time you do a trade or anything, it's a taxable event. And so they want to take as much from us as possible. And why? Folks, they don't want the common schmoes like you and I to make any money. No, seriously, they want us to be the working stiffs. And we can go on and on about this, but
yeah,
I was just reading an article a couple days ago about who was the prime minister in. Anyway, this guy leaves office in Europe. And he's a multi-millionaire now. And it's just like with our congressman. It's where do these guys make all their dang money while serving the public and government? It needs to be asked. They need to account for this. There's got to be some accountability. But on our end, they don't want us making money. So they try to do whatever they can, I believe, to kind of stifle us. So we know this year's gone. And the article says most people are probably just giving the middle finger to the IRS and saying, hey, come get me. And there might not purposely be thinking that, all of them, but it's been like Rod said, it's been so confusing. There's not really any for sure definition of how to report this and so on. So we're going to try to give you a few helps for next year.
Okay.
You got anything to add to that, Rod?
No, I just think that if you treat things like property, but see, they can do anything they want to, but property tax, to me, if you have a capital gain on it, it's what you pay on. But these guys are saying, at least that's what I hear you telling me, is that if you make a profit on it, or if you even lose after we made that big profit, and then all of a sudden everything went down. Well, now everybody's losing money. You still got to pay a capital gain on it, right?
Well, and it might not be considered a capital gain. I don't know the term there, but yes, there's people that gone through this last couple months of downturn and have lost their shorts in crypto, but yet they still owe the IRS. You could be broke
because it's taxation on trades.
Yes, anytime you do something in crypto, it's a taxable event. And what the percentage is, I haven't seen any of them documentations or figures. It's just this article kind of caught our attention that, hey.
Maybe one of our commenters could make some comment about it. Do they do the same thing with stocks and bonds? Because I've never dealt with stocks.
I have never dealt in them. I don't trust any of that stuff.
I don't know if they look at that as a trade. Every time you trade, you're taxed on it too.
I don't know. Anyway, folks, here's a couple ways to solve this. There's a site called Bitcoin.tax, and this site will help you figure. And I think to join it's pretty minimal. I think for $39 or something, you can get in on it. And then of course, the more you want them to do for you, the more the fee is. But I think just for a single person to get your cryptos done tax-wise, it's $39, I think is what I saw. But what's cool about this site, folks, is you can go and they'll figure it for you. So if you have a Coinbase account and a Polynex and a Gemini, you can import. Now, you're not giving them all your private keys and everything, but you can import that account onto your Bitcoin.tax site, and it'll go back and figure all the trading, and you did all the purchasing, all the selling. So you can import those exchanges onto here. You can import your wallets, and it'll go through and figure it all for you. That is really pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Personally, Rod and I, and we do some trading, but we don't do so much that we can't track it. So we just started an Excel sheet, and we have some, we made our own graph, and here's the trade we did or the sale we did, and every time we do a transaction, we just report to our Excel sheet, and it works out pretty simple. It's simple, but at least we can monitor stuff. And
well, we don't, Ron, don't we? We just buy. We never sell.
We're hodlers, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, I have a brother that I do his transactions for his crypto, so I have sold some in his behalf, and I definitely make a list that it's for him, and so I've gotten cash out of some of it, but I record all that. And we reported on this site before. It's called Coin Tracking. And this is a pretty neat site, even for everyday use, folks, not just for tax purposes. But this same thing, you can kind of import those exchanges and wallets into this. So right up here in this Enter Coin, let me make this a little bigger, Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your magic.
Yeah, look at that, man. Now where is it?
Yeah. Went way too big. You better come back.
Oh my heck. Okay, right here. Enter coins. See what they have here's your exchange imports, your dashboard imports at APIs, wallet imports, or you can just do a manual import. And in that manual import, you just say, hey, I was on Coinbase on this day and this time. I bought a half a Bitcoin. Well, it'll go back to that date and that time and figure the exact price you paid for that half a Bitcoin because of the time. And so that's pretty cool. So you get everything listed in there. And right here, it'll show you all your coins, and it'll give you what you paid for them, and if it's up or down today. So it kind of tracks every day. You can just kind of go to this as your portfolio and see your growth. Kind of gives you some charting, and it's a cool deal. If you're up or down, or what coins you're up or down, it's a pretty cool website, Rod. Yeah. And then when you get to the year end, they have a thing right here, this tax report. Uh-huh. And when you click on that, since it's all in there, it'll figure where you're at with your trades and your income and all that for you. And the reason we're bringing this up, folks, it's only April 15th. It's not too late to get started on something like this, or an Excel sheet, and start tracking this stuff for next year so you don't get caught behind the 8 ball again. It just makes sense. And if crypto goes up to where we think it's going to go, you're going to want some kind of, I think, explanation or some kind of reporting that, man, if everybody's made a lot of money, you can bet the government and IRS will really be on crypto people then. You don't think so, Rod?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
I sure do. And then there'll only be 50 people reporting.
Well, if you think about it, the whole purpose of crypto is what? To get away from the centralization, to get away from the governments and everybody telling you what you have to do. So, of course, everybody's saying, hey, I'm not reporting, baby.
Can you read shorthand?
Yeah. So, again, we're not soliciting you to do this, and Rod and I, we've reported and all, according to what the requirements are for us being retired and all. So, folks, just prepare. Things are looking good. I mean, have you looked at stuff lately, Rod?
Yeah, I've got it up. Yeah, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at this, man. 8,300. Look at Litecoin. Oh, baby. It's really gone up.
Well, even Bitcoin Cash has come up $175, and
I know. Look at that.
Ethereum's up 125. I mean, and is this the start? I mean, tax time has ended. Maybe we're headed into another bull run, Rod. Maybe things are not. They're not going to maybe escalate like they had before. I still think that there's plenty of people that have been on the sidelines, major money men, that are now maybe starting to come into the industry. I mean, there's enough ways that they can hedge their bets and make the money they think they need to make. So, yeah, it might be a good start. We'll have to see where this goes.
Yeah. Well, it's going to go up.
Oh, yeah, we know it's going to go up. So,
I don't know.
Folks, thanks. Appreciate you listening to us. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, we have fun. We have fun doing this. We may say that about cheaters and stuff, but Ron and I try to keep board. So
we always have.
That way you can sleep. That way you can sleep at night, and you don't have to do any worries. And so it's always better.
And yet we understand the frustration with government and IRS. All of a sudden, hey, somebody's making some money. We better get our fingers in there deep. I mean, we get that frustration. And it is. And then you wonder, like Rod said, why don't you sit down and say, why aren't these people reporting? Duh. It's because we're screwing them. And then when we give it to the government, they abuse every dollar anyway. There's no accountability. Look how much the military group is lost. There's billions unaccounted for. And then we're just supposed to sit back and just keep giving you guys all this?
Yeah.
Oh, my heck. Yeah. Analyze what you're doing wrong, and then maybe you'll have people that are going to report. You know, if it's properly used and accounted for. Well, anyway, sorry.
Yeah, we get off on a tangent there, but that's so true, though, Ron. You're telling the truth, and it is frustrating for us, but it's always better to follow the law. And if you want the law changed, then we go to our representatives. Yeah.
They're all crooked anyway.
Who don't represent it anyway.
No, they don't represent it. They represent themselves, man.
Oh, yeah. Try to get
don't even get me on that again, Rod.
Okay. All right, folks, give us a thumbs up, even though you may not agree with this. We appreciate y'all very much, and God bless.